So welcome everybody. This is health coach Craig Blanchett, actually the lifestyle coach, and this is our health coach huddle. We do this every week on Friday, and you can actually tune in if you go to iTunes. You can search for health coach huddle, and you will be able to find the podcast every week to listen to it. It's also available on YouTube and Vimeo if you want to watch the video version of it today. This is the first episode where we've spent thousands of dollars upgrading our graphics. So we now have the Health Coach Huddle graphic. Hope you enjoy that. And today we're going to go, first of all, we have some guests that are on our webinar meeting today. And so we want to introduce our guests and get to know them, how they got here, where they're from, and that. And then we're going to be talking about a coaching calibration technique that I've been using, where I've been utilizing the podcasts every week as a coaching thing. And then lastly, I'm going to show you something on our co-branded websites that I've just discovered recently, where you can filter the different fuelings if you have specific dietary concerns, and it's really brilliant. So, but first off, we want to find who here is here for the first time. And it looks like, well, first of all, I know that Cheryl and Randy are here for the first time from Spokane. And so, actually, I know quite about you, so I won't steal your thunder. But tell us a little bit about who invited you and where you're from, and then kind of sort of where you started and how far you've come.
Well, we were actually invited by Don and Rick Hurst as our coaches. And Cheryl had seen a posting on Don's Facebook site to her successes that she was referring to. And so Cheryl followed up and said, that's got to be about weight loss, because she wasn't specific. And as a result of that, we've over the years, we've done all of the things to lose weight, the whole gamut, from Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, all those things. And we've been successful at losing, but we've been more successful at gaining. So we met with Rick and Don, and we actually were able to come to a conclusion that maybe this has some potential for us, because our goal is that we want to be, we've reached a point in our life where we really want to extend our life. We have 9 grandchildren, and we really feel like we want to be a part of their lives, especially as long as they'll have us. Mm-hmm. So our health wasn't all that great, and we've been managing it, through going to doctor visits and those kinds of things. But it's like, wow, is there a different way to live? And so we began the program, and first off, it was just going to be Cheryl. And so we ordered her kit, and then I thought, well, I'll just kind of do it with her and just see if this is going to work. Well, within the first week, we began seeing results of weight loss, and we thought, wow, this is pretty cool. So I jumped in, and this is the 1st of November. The challenge for us is that we were coming up on the holidays, and we also had 2 trips planned. And we thought, how are we going to be successful at continuing this program on? Well, through Don's coaching and Rick's, we were able to see the value in planning ahead. Mm-hmm. And we made it through Thanksgiving and actually lost weight, much to the chagrin of, as far as the Thanksgiving dinner, our daughter was very disappointed that we weren't eating traditionally, even though we fixed everything traditional and said, you're going to have everything you want, but we're going to choose to do our thing. And that was a week-long trip to Fairmont Hot Springs in BC. And then we had a 12-day trip planned to go back to the Seahawk Green Bay Packer game to surprise our granddaughter, who was a Packer fan. And we actually mailed ahead we were coming back through Denver to our son's house. We actually figured out all our fuelings we needed and actually UPS'd them to Denver. And we took with us the stuff we needed for being at Green Bay, because we were there for like 5 days. And we also, planned out our fuelings for being on the planes, and so it worked out tremendous. We didn't have that craving to stop at all the the quick stops in the airports, and when they fed on the plane, what little you get anymore. We had our fuelings already with us, and so we would just ask for either coffee or water. Through that whole time, we went to Denver and then came back for Christmas. Again, the success was we didn't gain, which usually we would gain 8 to 10 pounds. We actually lost more weight.
Yeah.
And so through all of this, I guess what we've really got out of it is that, we can sustain ourselves. I mean, we can continue to safely lose weight, as we just discussed. We can safely lose weight and yet be totally satisfied with ourselves. And then beyond that point, I guess, is the success we've seen with just the effects of what it's had on our lives medically, physically. Cheryl's probably feeling better than she ever has, although right now she has an eye infection, so that's why she's not online.
Yeah.
But we're both at weights that I haven't seen and she hasn't seen probably in 35 years. And yet we feel better than we ever have. I was diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea, and in actuality, in the last 3 months, I haven't used my CPAP machine, as we've seen and I'm going back for a reassessment to see if I can get off my CPAP, as far as, being formally having that on my medical record, as well as I'm looking forward to a March 1st follow-up with my doctor to see if I can get off my high blood pressure medicine as well.
Tremendous.
So, and then of course just the results of I shared earlier with the results of our blood tests with the lower cholesterol and all of the factors that were associated with that. And it's like, wow, these are real. We have never seen that kind of impact before. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to sustain this over time? And in fact, Cheryl was the doctor yesterday, and we shared with her, about the weight loss, and she kind of put us off. She said, "Oh, this is Medifast, right?" And it was like, but her key was, so you're losing weight. Is there a plan for sustaining weight? Because her big deal is the sustaining.
Yeah,
I think she was kind of thinking, okay, here's another plan. You guys have lost great weight loss, but are you really going to be able to sustain this over time? Right. And so I guess I took that as a challenge personally, because I think she kind of put us off.
Well, and the thing there, Randy, is what she's saying is that she knows Medifast, which Medifast is only a weight loss program. She doesn't know that there's this Optavia, this other piece to it there. And so you guys, so I cut you off there. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. So, and you guys have decided to join us as coaches on our team officially. And so Don and Rick, which are part of Carrie's team, which is part of Don Carpenter's team. So now the Spokane contingent is just getting healthier and healthier. And so we're excited about that and seeing you guys actually start to help people. And it'll be fun to hear the ongoing progress of the doctor conversation, right? Because there's more to that story to come.
There is more. More to come.
Yep. Linda, you had your hand raised. Let me unmute you. There you go. You're good to go.
Perfect. I'm putting her on the spot. Amanda Dotson is an incredible gal that I'm just starting to get to know, and I want her to.
Oh, yeah. I was going to her right next. Amanda. So I assume you're friends with Linda.
We're friends now.
Linda. Where are you from?
Me, I'm from Portland, Oregon. Linda and I didn't really know each other too much when she lived here. I knew who she was. Her husband played on a softball team with my husband. And then I got reacquainted with her through my friend Lindsay.
Nice. Well, this is our Health Coach Huddle, and we've got a few minutes here left to actually go into a little bit of training, but I wanted to make sure we got our guests introduced so you can, meet the team Some of us have been here for 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, and we're glad that it's growing. The team is growing. So welcome, Randy and Cheryl, as well as Amanda. Thanks for joining us this morning. So I want to transition a little bit into this concept that really stood out to me about 3 weeks ago. And one of my clients that I was coaching, his name's Doug, and he said, you know what, Craig, I really like it when you assign me homework. I was like, what? Like, I just thought about that. And I'm like, I thought about that for the whole weekend, like 3-4 days in a row. And so I want to potentially give some insight to what it looks like to coach somebody. I had a misunderstanding that when we're autonomy supportive, so I'm finding out what you want, and then I will chaperone the 5 and 1. That's what I've been doing. I'm just kind of chaperoning the 5 and 1. So you're doing good today? Okay. All right. So have you read your book? No. Okay. Well, you ever thinking about getting into that? It might be good. You might want to learn something in there. See you later. Bye. And it's one of those kinds of things. And it smacked me in the face pretty dramatically. And I thought, imagine if I was a sailing coach. I was going to teach you how to sail, right? And so we get together and I talk about, so you want to sail, what kind of boat, what kind of water, why do you want to really do this? And I'm just kind of, I want to be a master sailor. I want to, do this and that, right? So then I'm going to say, great. I know what you want and I know why you want it, and I will help you build that. I will make you seaworthy. So we're going to show up for our training session the next week, and I'm going to say, here's 5 knots you got to tie, or whatever. I'm going to teach you what this part of the boat is. I'm going to teach you how to turn it and how to go into the wind and how to do all these things. And then during the week, you're going to practice at home. Now, if you choose not to practice, you're just going to be a lousy sailor, right? And so if you really want to be seaworthy and not die out there on that water, then you're going to probably want to learn what I'm teaching you. And so I take that analogy and I switch it over to health coaching. And what we do with health coaching is we get to know what people want, why they want it, where they're going to go, what it means. They're going to lose this weight. They're going to keep it off. They're going to be able to, do lots of these awesome, amazing things. So they've then, if they decide to work with me and we enroll them into our program, I want to be really clear what that actually means. They've hired you to help them get what they just said they wanted. Think about that. They want to lose weight. I've never heard a client say, I'd like to lose weight and then gain it back. I've just never heard that, although many do that, right? I've heard them say, I want to lose the weight and I'd like to keep it off. I want to learn to sustain my weight. I've lost it many times, but I've never been able to sustain it. Okay, so you are hiring me to teach you the skills to sustain the weight loss once we've achieved it. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Well, then it sounds like I'm going to give you some homework. It's just a normal thing. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? So here's what I've been doing for the homework. Well, first of all, I want to toss that back just for maybe one comment or so. Is that different? Is that like getting some traction in your brain? Is there some Velcro up there?
Yeah, that's huge, man. What you did was you prepared the ground to receive the coaching and to get that buy-in. And that's a big missing piece as we start trying to plant seeds in ground that hasn't been broken up yet and hasn't yet said, I'm ready to accept this. And we assume a whole lot that this person will just go into this coaching process. So Dr. A does what you just did very, very well. And I'll give you like the 10-second on my first coaching session ever with him that was one-on-one. He says, hey, do you want me to help you achieve exactly what you said you wanted? And he clarified what it was. And I said, yes. And anyhow, I'll move on from that.
Perfect. Yeah. And so I've been doing that with my clients, because when we say they get a free health coach, actually, I don't ever use that term because I think it's just something free has no value oftentimes. And so I say, you hired me to help you get to this. So these are people that I've been coaching for a while that I'm trying to kind of reboot, recalibrate. And so I go to them and I say, something I was thinking about this last week is that you actually hired me not to help you lose weight, because that seems like kind of all we're really talking about. You hired me to teach you what's necessary to sustain the weight loss once you've lost it. Is that true? Did I miss something? And they're like, oh, no, that's true. Okay, so what I realized is in my lack of skill with coaching, I wasn't teaching you new things. You were learning a little bit here and there, but we had no structure. And so do you remember that Habits of Health book? Yeah. Well, there's lessons in there that if you don't learn those, you're going to gain your weight back. And I know you don't want that, and you've hired me to help you not do that. So this is what I'd like to do. You've got 3 options. I'm going to start with the minimum. Every week, I've got a podcast that I'm recording, and we're going through one of the chapters in Dr. A's Habits of Health. It's called Crave Optimal Health, right? And so you can take 30 minutes of your week and you can listen to that podcast. Now, if you want, you can actually pull open your book, because we're going to refer to specific pages, and you can read along with us, right? Now, the full meal deal, smackdown, not getting fat again, is you pull out the companion guide too. So you listen, you read, and you write. And that is what I call Velcro, right? That's going to get it in your brain and have it be not Teflon, right? Velcro, not Teflon. And so it's going to stick in your brain. And then the next week when we have our conversation, I want you to tell me what was noteworthy to you. What was new information? What was something maybe not new that you haven't done? And then I say, is this something you'd be willing to carve the time so you learn the skill, so you just don't keep doing this thing over and over again? And they've been saying yes in a huge amount. So I wanted to share that with you. You can use the Crave Optimal Health podcast, no question. And then you just dovetail that with the things that I've just been rebooting people that have already read the book. I'm still encouraging them to actually jump in and do it.
Hey, Craig, so here's a formula for that. What I love about this is you frame the relationship, right? And then you ask a question before you start giving any of that other information. Because if we go right from, you've hired me to help you, lose the weight, whatever it is, learn the habits and keep it off for life. Is that what you want me to do? Question mark, or is that still what you would like me to help you with? Question mark, pause, wait for a response. But if a lot of times we can put that question mark and we go, because what I want to give you now is, and then we go right into feeding it out before we've got, again, the ground to open up and say, I'm ready for your seed.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. So that I would call that bouncing the ball. So what Alex did, so we toss it out, we bounce the ball back to them. They grab the ball and then they talk and then they bounce it back to us, right? Don't be a ball hog, by the way. Don't hold the ball too long. So bounce that ball back and forth and have it be a game. Have it be an actual fun game where you're tossing the ball back and forth and not just keeping the ball for long periods of time.
Not being a ball hog is about asking questions and letting them talk the majority of the time, right, Craig?
Yeah, they can be a ball hog, but you don't be a ball hog.
That's right. We don't want to sit there and just give them our download of chapter 3 or give them our download of why they should be healthy and all that.
It's hot potato. Get rid of that thing. Ask
talking about ourselves.
Yep, and get it back. And yes, we're about to start a power hour. I've got one more thing here, and then we're going to jump into our power hour, and you all are invited for that. But this may be something that you may or may not know about, and I just discovered this. So if you go to your co-branded website, the reason why we call it co-branded is because you can see it's Team Blanchette. That's my brand. TSFL, that's their brand. That's a co-brand. That's why we call this co-branded. And you click on shop. Awesome stuff here. Ready? And you go over to this thing called Quick Shop. Are you ready to blow your minds? Here we go. Quick Shop. At the top here, let's say you want to see non-GMO stuff. You click non-GMO, and it takes everything out that has GMO. What? Yeah, it does. Or you want to have things that are high in protein. You click high in protein, right? Maybe you want to think things that are no trans fats or heart healthy or vitamins and minerals or low in fat or good source of fiber. And then you can go down here to special diets. Are you kidding me, Craig? What did you just do? You just does not contain whey. Boo shakalaka. Now we got all the ones that don't contain whey, right? What about kosher, vegetarian? What? Contains milk. Does not contain milk. Contains fish. right? Flavor profiles. Are you kidding me? I want spicy stuff. There we go. Right? And then you can do it optimal weight 5-in-1 plan, or you can do different ones that you want. Fuelings, it's going to do all the fuelings, right? And you want stuff that's sweet. And so you can do combos too. So that is the under Quick Shop in your shopping cart, where you can find stuff really easily and add it to the cart. Is that good, fun, exciting new info? I hope it is. We are going to close up the Health Coach Huddle, though, because we've got our next event happening right now. Appreciate y'all for your attention this morning. Hope this was insightful. Welcome to the new coaches, Randy and Cheryl, and welcome Amanda as well to our Health Coach Huddle. Thanks, everybody.